Hi, everybody. Today is Saturday, January 19th, 2019. My name is Brian McInerney. I'm the hydrologist here with the National Weather Service, and we've got yet another winter storm on the way. Before we get going, I thought I'd mention when Glenn and I put these together. Glenn does most of the meteorologists on this, if not all. And when we do this together, we kind of look at it and think if it's a big event, like a foot or more, we'll put these out. So if you see a lot of storms that are smaller amounts, that's the idea behind this. We try and do them just so we don't dilute you guys with more and more of these briefings. These are the big events. But since we had such a big event, last couple of days, we're still a little jacked up, and we thought we'd put another one together. So as far as the winds at 20,000 feet, this is the GFS model. This is the winds. What you see is this feature here off in the Pacific. This is a low pressure that's going to swing into Utah sometime Sunday night and into Monday evening, depending where you're at in the state. And it's going to put down some pretty good snow. Not as big as the last event, but yet enough that it's going to freshen things up quite nicely. So let's start with the Logan Mountains, far north. And when you look at what we're expecting, snow total is about 8 to 14 inches. So you can see if we're on the low end of this forecast, we're about 8 inches, but it still has potential up to 14. And some of these storms have been overproducing. These last two, based on our models and our forecasts, have been overproducing. So, there we go. So snow water equivalent, 0.6 to 1 inch. Storm begins Sunday night. Storm ends Monday morning. And then when you look at the greatest snow intensity, it's going to happen on Monday morning with about 1 to 2 inches. It's going to start about 6,000 feet down to the valley floor as these storms have been going. And the snow density trends are going to be decreasing. So we'll have right side up snow, which is nice to see. The winds are very similar to what we had before as far as two parts of the storm. The first part's coming in pretty hot, about 55 mile an hour gusts sustained at 35. And then during Monday at about noon, it's going to drop off. And then it's going to pick up again on Monday evening into Monday night with wind gusts up to 25. And the winds are going to veer from southwest, and you're going to see this different at each one of these areas. Southwest to west-southwest to north to northeast, and then we'll stay northeast after that. Let's move to the northern mountains. And in this area is Butter Mountain, Snow Basin. Snow total is 9 to 16 inches with 0.75 to 1.1 inches of water. It's going to begin early Monday morning and end Monday evening with the greatest snow intensity right around Monday morning and into the afternoon hours at 1 to 2 inches per hour. As we saw earlier, it's going to start with rain down to 6,500 and below. And then when this storm is finishing up, it's going to be down to the valley floor once the cold front comes through. Again, decreasing snow trends for this area. Winds very similar in their pattern, a little different on their direction. Gusts of 55 out of the southwest, kind of veering west-southwest, dropping off to the north, but then northeast after that, almost up to 50 miles an hour, 50 knots, sorry about that. And with sustained at about 30. So you can see the winds are going to be veering around depending where you're at with this system. When we look at the central Wasatch on the front side, this is going to be the better snow producer. Snow totals at 10 to 18 with 0.8 to 1.2 water. Monday morning is when it begins. Monday evening is when it's going to stop, with the greatest snow intensities on Monday morning through the afternoon hours at 2 inches per hour. About 6,500 feet with the rain line, and then it's going to go down to the valley floor. This is going to be a cold system once it gets rolling. We don't have to worry too much about heavy, dense snow, and it's going to be decreasing snow density trends. With the winds starting up about 60 miles an hour at the highest peaks out of the southwest, slowing down out of the northeast, and then picking back up on Monday somewhere around 55 miles an hour out of the north, and then veering around northeast to northeast. So that's the front side. When we jump over to the back side, we look at Park City, the canyons, Deer Valley, and in part down into some of the areas of Provo Canyon, which had quite a large slide. Snow totals 7 inches to 12 inches with snow water equivalent of 0.6 to 0.9. Monday morning is when it starts. Monday evening is when it ends in this area, with the greatest snow intensity Monday morning through the afternoon hours, with peak snowfall rates at 1 to 1.5 inches an hour, 7,000 feet at the onset, right about the base area, but that won't last too long. and then snow down to whatever lowest elevations in this area are, and then snow density trends again decreasing. With the winds, they're not going to be as strong as over on the front side, 45 knots out of the southwest, slowing down about noon on Monday, and then picking back up Monday evening. Right around 40 miles an hour out of the north-northeast and really north-northeast all the way as the winds decline. So you can see how this storm kind of veers around from what we've seen in the past. When you look at the western Uinta Mountains, and we're looking at Windy Peak, snow total 7 to 12, hopefully we're on the higher end of that, with snow water equivalent 0.6 to 0.9. Again, Monday morning is going to start. Monday evening is when it's going to end. When we look at the greatest snow intensity, right when it gets there, it's probably going to be the highest intensities through the afternoon hours on Monday. Peak snowfall rates 1 inch to 1.5 inches, down to 6,500. But in this valley, it's kind of hard. Everything's pretty high. Valley floor is when it's going to end, and decreasing snow levels. So a nice storm. And really, when you think of where we just came from, we've had 2 really good storms. Winds. Southwest starting Monday early morning, right around midnight time, and then they're going to drop off to about noon out of the south, and then they're going to pick back up out of the north at about 50 knots, and then slowly tail off north-northeast. So again, some from southwest swinging around all the way to the northeast. It's north-northeast. So like I said, nice storm. But if you need more information, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter. There's our site at NOAA, and again, Utah Avalanche Center. Can't hit this hard enough. Extremely professional, very talented people, good forecasters. Your life is in good hands if you follow their advice. Look at their UtahAvalancheCenter.org website. Again, this is Brian McInerney. Glenn Merrill was the meteorologist on this, who always does a great job. And until the next system, we'll see you there. See you.